Hello everyone, a very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. And as far as I remember, I've already opened a bottle like this before, but since it got emptied, this is absolutely the kind of bottle that, in my opinion, every whiskey enthusiast should have at home, especially since among several peated bottles, this is one of the few that I actually like, and I really truly like it. This is the wonderfully peated bottle from the renowned Arran distillery. On the reverse side of the beautifully designed box, there's a small detailed map clearly showing the precise location where the Arran distillery is situated. The Arran distillery itself is prominently located on the picturesque Isle of Arran, which is conveniently situated right next to the famous Islay Islands. This area is basically the southern part of Scotland, so if you look at the map head on, you could almost say that it's nearly in line with London, just a tiny bit higher, but if you look at it on a larger scale, then it's roughly like that. And it's interesting in the sense that there are two distilleries around the Islay Islands. As you may know, the Islay Islands are known for typically producing peated whiskies like Ardbeg and many others. And the Arran distillery is also located there, as well as the Ben Nevis distillery, and typically neither of them is known for their peatiness. In fact, for a very long time, Arran didn't even produce peated spirits, and then suddenly they released 2 bottles. Now there are more, but they first appeared with 2 bottles under the fantasy name Machrie Moor bottling, if we can indeed call it that. And the significant use of the name itself directly refers to the specific area precisely located there, and the charming little dog you prominently see on it. This particular dog was originally given the distinguished name Bran way back in the day in ancient Celtic folktales or legendary stories, and the Fingal was the loyal and mighty dog of the legendary giant Fingal, a figure deeply embedded in ancient Celtic folklore. In that remarkable and historically significant area, by the way, you can discover and explore the truly ancient Celtic rocks, which are also intrinsically connected to the enduring legend of Fingal's Cave, a truly unique and fascinating volcanic-like depression, almost as if a colossal asteroid had dramatically struck there. Indeed, there is such a profound and distinctive hollow there, a natural wonder to behold. And supposedly, the legendary giant named Fingal used to comfortably sit there, cook his delicious meals, and securely tie his loyal dog Bran to one of the prominent rocks. This fascinating legend is actually commemorated by this particular type of bottling. Both of the peated bottles have precisely the same illustration. The only discernible difference is that this one is a more silvery one, while the other has a more golden or gold-marked label, as you can see. I'm a bit scattered today, sorry about that. I keep saying and using a lot of filler words. I used to like the bottle more in the past than I do now, but I think I've mentioned that many times already. Even though with the new bottling for this Ezen, this peated bottle, I actually think it looks really good. The fact that it's black really suggests it contains some kind of essence or a unique rarity, which is characteristic of a special spirit like this. And it truly is special because the drink was bottled at cask strength, which means it has an alcohol content of 56.2%. While I was reading about it, then I read some Hungarian comments, and the comments were really sweet, especially when they mentioned that despite its strength, they didn't actually feel that level of intensity in it, and even though it's peated, they didn't really sense that much peatiness. The Scots, or generally speaking, peatiness is measured in ppm, and in fact this one has a medium level of peatiness. I haven't seen any indication anywhere about what ppm it contains. If I had to guess, I'd say its peatiness is just a bit above that of Talisker, which would mean it contains about 25, at most 30 ppm. But if I find the actual number somewhere and I was wrong, then I apologize, okay? This is just my intuition, or based on tasting, that's how I came up with this estimate. A couple of thoughts about this distillery. I really like their attitude. I really like their way of thinking, their innovation, the way they keep moving forward. And basically, we're talking about a distillery that was established in 1995. And if I remember correctly, they already have 28 and 30-year-old spirits as well as 10-year-old ones. Will also be released very soon. So they really do follow a very determined, well thought out and comprehensive strategy as they meticulously carry out their important work, which I think is absolutely sensational and truly remarkable. Now, let's take a closer look at the delicious drink. The color, as you can clearly observe, is a bit paler than one might initially expect, but I often notice with a great many peated drinks and spirits that their overall color tends to be a noticeably lighter hue. The aroma, I must say, is absolutely sensational and truly captivating. Predominantly, I detect an abundance of rich, dried fruits, and actually there's a subtle yet distinct hint of earthy peat or a delicate touch of smoky essence wonderfully present within its complex profile, which strongly suggests that we are truly dealing with a much more serious and complex drink here, at least in terms of its initial aromatic profile. But now, as it slowly starts to decant and open up a bit more, increasingly more and more distinct and intriguing scents are gradually beginning to emerge from within it. And you can definitely sense a subtle bit of the characteristic peatiness as well. But it's certainly not at all like those typically heavily peated drinks that one might usually encounter. So I truly believe this could be a really good and enjoyable drink, even for those individuals who aren't particularly big fans of intensely peaty flavors. As for the actual taste experience, the distinctive peatiness immediately and quite profoundly settles on my tongue, coating it with its characteristic smoky notes. It doesn't wait even a second. And at the same time, alongside the peatiness, which isn't overpowering, there's a really nice balance of sweetness as well. So it's kind of ambivalent in the sense that on one hand, this sweet flavor comes forward really nicely, but at the same time, the peatiness lingers in my mouth throughout. And now that I've talked about it for a bit longer, the peatiness, it's still there in my mouth. I can feel it. It's as if it leaves an imprint, and this kind of peatiness wants to stay on my taste buds for a long time. So it's really interesting, but I want to emphasize once again, maybe I'm emphasizing it too much, and it might be a bit of an exaggeration, that this level of peatiness isn't more than this. So it really has a very good balance. It truly creates a wonderful harmony with all of the other delightful flavors present. Perhaps I should also explicitly add that due to the very distinctive and strong peaty taste, I find myself able to identify far fewer specific individual flavors. It just so completely dominates the entire profile, or it might simply be because I am not yet fully accustomed to these particular peaty flavors, which can be quite intense. I mostly taste that the peatiness just sits so heavily on my mouth or on my tongue, on my taste buds, that it's really hard for me to pick up any other flavors that are connected to it. All in all, for me, among peated drinks, we are talking about a very drinkable, very good drink. I think in terms of value for money, it's absolutely appropriate. So for a little over 20,000 forints, you can buy a bottle like this when it's available. And I think it's a truly masculine, characterful, good drink. It can also be really good for those who are fans of peated whiskies, because there's this slightly sweet flavor that adds something extra. And I also think it offers a kind of experimentation for those who aren't such big fans of peat, but are still willing to try a little peatiness. When it comes to the drink, if we think about the flavors, then strong, characterful fruits, maybe stone fruits, are what come through, and definitely dried fruits because they have a stronger sweetness or sweet content. So I think it's great for a serious conversation or to celebrate something. Absolutely, I can imagine it for that. That it's also an excellent and versatile drink to pair wonderfully with food. For example, I don't know, with a perfectly cooked steak or with rich beef, which is essentially the same. But I was also thinking, alongside a hearty stew, which perhaps has a stronger, more complex flavor profile or is a heavier, more substantial dish. I can easily and clearly imagine it with that as well. As for the cigar, I chose your favorite again. I really like this cigar because it consistently provides the same kind of very positive cigar experience, which is important and enjoyable for me. I really appreciate that, and they don't overpower each other. So even though this is a characterful, strong whiskey, and the cigar is also quite characterful, I still think they complement each other well. I also drink coffee with it, and I think that too works well. I like strong and espresso style coffees, so this is probably one of those coffees made from relatively little water and a lot of ground coffee. So I think this can be a really great pairing with many foods, many drinks, and for many conversations or gatherings. Thank you very much for joining me, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. We truly appreciate your presence and engagement. It has been a genuine pleasure to connect with you. We sincerely hope that you have a truly wonderful and fulfilling day ahead, filled with joy, productivity, and all the positive experiences you deserve. Furthermore, as the week draws to a close, we extend our warmest wishes for a most pleasant, relaxing, and rejuvenating weekend. May it be a time for you to unwind, recharge, and enjoy some well-deserved rest and leisure.